of the Korean community, I actually, sent a message to the Korean community and said I was going to interview you, and they're like, oh, we have many questions. So I have this thread of questions that I just literally copied from the chat room, and here are just a few of them. First is that, so a person was asking about, there was some concerns about network power being concentrated on zones more than hubs. What do you think about that? And for example, like if there are bigger zones than hubs, then can those hubs become zones? So they were kind of like confused about the idea, like how can this happen and can it be resolved, or what is your thought on that?
Yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts on this. Let's try to stick high level, right?
Yeah.
I think one thought is that, Cosmos is meant to be a collaborative environment, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as any chain supports IBC, they're able to permissionlessly connect between each other and send tokens between each other. And that means, hubs and spokes, they are sort of rigid definitions of what really might exist in the Cosmos ecosystem. There's going to be many hubs, there's going to be many spokes, and it's not clear which hubs will be the biggest hubs, which hubs will be the smallest hubs, but they will all have the power to connect and communicate value with each other. So I think you'll find that some spokes may turn into hubs, some hubs may turn into spokes over time. And it's, an interesting process that we're going to see a lot more of once IBC is enabled on the hub and on other chains. Mm. And point number two is, because I believe the vast majority of people in the Cosmos ecosystem possibly are atom holders, right? They care about the value of the Cosmos Hub, and maybe they're worried that the Cosmos Hub may not be the center of the universe or anything that that we've discussed previously. And I don't think that is a big concern. So I believe that the Cosmos Hub, right? It's built with the Cosmos SDK, and it is the most decentralized blockchain. Mm-hmm. Using the Cosmos SDK, right? In comparison to Binance Chain, it's not owned by a corporation. Right. It is, it's owned by tens of thousands of atom holders around the world, and we vote on making things happen together, right? And out of all the Cosmos SDK-based chains that are decentralized like this, the Cosmos Hub is of the highest market cap. And what does market cap mean, right, for the atom? It means also security. That means the Cosmos Hub has the highest level of security. The validators that validate the Cosmos Hub need to ensure that their setups are the most secure, because they're securing $1 billion+ USD dollar chain. So like I mentioned before, there's two things internally working in the company that will help cement the hub as a router for a lot of chains. One of which is implementing a Uniswap style DEX directly on the hub. And you might say that, other hubs have these sort of DEXs, right? Like IrisNet, for example, just recently published their idea of a coin swap module for the IrisNet hub. And I believe there are other chains also exploring DEXs, right, on top of their Cosmos SDK chains. Mm-hmm. But like I said, right before this, right, the Cosmos Hub has the highest valuation out of any of these chains. So as a liquidity provider and as a trader, which zone, which blockchain would you go to start trading? Well, clearly you would go to the zone, with the most amount of security, and that is the Cosmos Hub. Mm-hmm. So the DEX is one strong play, I think, that will help the value of the atom and the ecosystem of the hub. Another play that we're exploring is the idea of shared security. So this is a little bit further out, but this solves two problems, right? For the hub itself, it lets the hub share its incredibly high value of security with other chains, thus, encouraging chains to connect to the hub and share its security. And then point number two, it benefits zones. So a big problem with new blockchains, especially not even new blockchains, but a big problem with ETH scaling solutions, right, is that there's nothing really backing the solution. If you want DeFi protocols to migrate to your ETH scaling solution, you have to make sure, there's hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of value in terms of security and stability you're able to provide to these DeFi protocols, right? And not just stability, but you also need a number of users who want to experiment with their tokens. And that's very difficult to do, right? Creating a community from scratch, like we did with the Cosmos Hub, is very difficult to do. It's taken many years. It's taken a lot of investment from the community. And, as new chains pop up, built on top of the Cosmos SDK, they have the same problem that we do, right? They need to build a community. They need to build value. They need to get developers onto their chain. And we believe that a shared security module, sharing some of the hub security with these other chains that are coming up, will allow these chains to, in some ways, skip past the community building step, skip past the network effect step, and start with a platform that already has, hundreds of millions of dollars worth, or billions of dollars worth of secured value at stake, which will make developers feel like, it's going to be a stable platform. It'll be here for years. It'll be here for decades, and I can, comfortably build on this. I can comfortably build a business on top of this without feeling like it might collapse at any moment.
Is the security, like the aspect you talked about, is it far way out, like really far way out, or is it like currently starting, or like are you working on that currently, or just?
We're working on that currently. Interchain Berlin's working on that currently. There are other teams thinking about this problem, and as a company, we're investing resources, both employees and also financial resources to make shared security happen, as soon as possible after IBC is deployed on the hub.
Oh. So there's a lot of talk about Stargate, and it's currently happening. And what people were curious, like, what difference does that make to the current architecture, and like, what are some anticipated results out of this new Stargate?
Yeah, Stargate is really exciting, and it's one of the first times we've had so much community contributions to building out this upgrade for the SDK and for the hub. And it's really great to see what we're able to produce together. So what is Stargate? So Stargate really completes the set of Cosmos essential software and services that we described in the white paper 3 years ago, right? That all the fundraisers have read through and have contributed to through their funding, right? So it brings about IBC to the Cosmos SDK, and it allows chains to start exchanging tokens with each other seamlessly, permissionlessly. This is all what we've been hoping for. It also brings about 3 other things, right? One of which is really fast state sync. So one of the big problems right now, if you want to run a full node for the Cosmos Hub or a validator for the Cosmos Hub, is it takes several days to sync up to the block height, which right now is, I believe, over 3 million. That's pretty cool. But it takes several days to sync up now, and that's really clunky, right? If you want to run a full node, let's say your wallet provider, or if you want to be a validator, now you have to wait several days to sync up. And if you have any problems with your setup, you might have to sync up again, and it takes another few days. So with this new system, it's about, I don't know, I think roughly 100 times faster. So instead of a period of days, it just takes a period of hours.
Wow.
Or, yeah, that's another great thing. Another couple of things are protobuf. The protobuf is an encoding change. It's really technical, but what it is just the messages that's passed between the different modules in the SDK are currently serialized in Amino, and we're changing that to protobuf. So that's been a really massive change internally within the SDK, but it doesn't affect much of the end user interfaces. So, as an Atom holder, you're not really going to see any differences, but it is a lot of work on the end of wallet providers and exchanges to make sure that they're able to support this new method of communicating to the SDK-based chains.
Wow. So then after Stargate, then IBC, I guess, and then people would be like, oh, I think most questions were asking that, when IBC? But then I'm sure it's hard to give like a specific timeline for it, but then they're like, they thought it was end of the year, but then like when end of the year? Is there like a more, I'm grilling you on this, but it's like, is there a detailed like timeline in terms of the IBC launch, or not yet?
Unfortunately, I don't have a better answer than end of the year. So I'm going to stick with what everyone else has been saying. I believe that testnets for Stargate are really imminent, right? And testnets is a period when integration providers, new zones that want to try out IBC, validators, and full nodes will all try out this faster state sync. We'll all try learning how to communicate, to these blockchains with protobuf instead of Amino. We're not sure how long that process will take, right? But once that process is done, then we'll be able to propose the next hub proposal, which is we set a block height and we set a version of Stargate that we want to upgrade to. And at that block height, I don't know, 3.5 million, 3.25 million, we'll all shut down all of our validators, upgrade to the new version of Gaia, and have IBC live on the hub.
Oh, I mean, it may not even happen at the end of the year. I mean, who knows, right? There might be some more process going on, but still it's going to be shipping and building and testing. And so it's going to take quite some time. But I mean, despite all this COVID craziness, I think it's a good timeline, end of the year. It's already August. So I guess it's coming up soon, and interesting things coming to the project. Yeah. And,
I think we're all really excited about it, and we want to make sure it happens as soon as possible. We just need to make sure it is, well tested and secure, because we are talking about upgrading a blockchain,
of course,
that holds a lot of value. So that is of paramount importance.
Yeah, it's security, and it's very important. And I mean, I think like when it comes to because there's a developer community in Asia, of course, and then there is, I guess, an investor community, which we cannot really avoid because they do make up a big portion of a project or a team or any cryptocurrency project, right? So, and it's been like a sensitive topic to a lot of projects, because like they don't want to be like shilling anything to make the investors like excited or overly excited. But you do have to make a balance between those interests and also the developer interests as well. Like as an Asian, how do you see that balance, and do you think it's possible to to make that balance eventually? And because it's a very tricky topic that I'm also cautious of speaking about. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so everyone cares about the atom in the company, right? and then we believe everyone in the community cares a lot about the price of the atom too. We're excited when it goes up. We're like a little depressed when it goes down.
Yeah.
And the main reason I think up until this point we don't discuss the atom price as much is we are thinking about the future, and we're thinking about regulation, and we're concerned about how regulation and institutions will think about the atom if we talk too much about its price. And that's been a concern in the past, but something is changing in the upcoming near future, right? We're working on a set of new websites, I guess 2 websites, right? One is a new Cosmos Hub website, and one is a new Cosmos website.
Oh.
And we're going to make these much more targeted towards the mainstream audience, to token holders and to atom holders and to people interested in getting the atom. I think right now it's really difficult to figure out, if you land on the Cosmos website or the Hub website right now. The Hub website looks really just like a documentation page at this point. Right? It's really simple and boring, and no attention has been paid to it. But later this year, actually in the coming months, I can say this with more certainty, right? With the Cosmos website, it's coming around end of September, and the Hub website will be coming end of October. And both of those are going to have an updated look and feel that matches the Stargate website. I think it's really cool with the dark background and the planets and such. Our designers have been doing a wonderful job.
I saw that.
But both websites are coming, right, in the next couple months, 2 or 3 months. And they're going to really focus on the initial user experience for someone coming to Cosmos for the first time, how to help them understand the vision of Cosmos, how to show them, all the chains they're building on the SDK, and to even show them the tokens that are powered by Cosmos, right? So it'll be maybe like CoinMarketCap, but only for Cosmos tokens, And we're going to show them, the names of the tokens, which projects they relate to, the price of these tokens, ideally where to buy these tokens. That'll be the Cosmos website. And for the Hub website, we're going to focus entirely on the Atom, what the Atom means, what it's used for, how to get it, how to get connected with the Atom community. And we really want to make sure that we're really selling the Atom as much as we can. So that's coming up. And I think people will be excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, usability, right? I mean, user-friendly service, which you care about.
User-friendliness.
Yeah, which you care about.
I care about two things, right? User experience and also developer experience.
Yes, of course.
And these two websites are really focused on the user experience. Right? We want to make sure people can understand exactly what Cosmos is in as few words as possible, make it approachable to people, maybe to those who don't even know what blockchain is or how it works, right? But there's a way to explain Cosmos to people in a way they understand how Cosmos works without even diving into the technical parts. So we're working on that internally. And to the developer experience front, right, that's Starport. So Starport is only the beginning of what we hope to offer to developers, right? A way to build a blockchain in 3 minutes. But once you have a blockchain running on your laptop, you're like, now what, right? So we hope to have an offering in the near future also that lets them deploy their blockchain to the internet and to deploy their blockchain application to the internet as well. So let's say you're making a game, you can build a game in a period of a day with Starport, and then you can deploy the game to your friends and family and to the community, with a few commands.
Wow. Wow.
So everyone can try it out.
I'd love to try it out.
I've been working on playing with Starport, right? This developer productivity tool over the weekend, and I plan to continue using it to figure out what the experience is like, right? For someone like me, who's not a protocol developer, if I wanted to build a blockchain myself with Starport, how is that experience? How does that feel? Give that feedback to my team, and over time, we hope to make it possible for people to do things like, build a blockchain every single day, right? Build a new application every day through Starport, upload it online, let people in the community try it out. And this sort of really rapid iteration cycle and ease of use is, I believe, what is going to lead us to the Internet of Blockchains.
Wow, that's great. It's just a pop-up question that just popped up in my head, but I noticed like a long time ago that although it's a public chain, but many enterprises were interested, like especially in Korea, they were all testing out the Cosmos blockchain, and I was really surprised to hear that. I don't know if I can say it, but like Samsung also tried it out. They were really interested, and like many corporations took a look at it. And I was wondering if you have any plans to get more friendly with these enterprises, or any partnerships or anything that's coming up, because I think it's a big portion that some blockchains are taking, in terms of having enterprise connections and all.
Yeah, that's something we're exploring as well. We're in talks with several teams, large teams, small teams, enterprises, and we're figuring out the best way to provide support for these teams that need blockchain development, but also to talk to teams that want to build blockchains themselves and figure out how we can use, what we know about Cosmos and how the Cosmos SDK works to provide them what they need to build a chain. Yeah. So we believe the more blockchains that exist, the better, and the more sort of real practical use cases of the SDK, the better for the community as a whole. So we're very supportive of these efforts, and we're excited about partnerships. So if there's any teams that do want to partner with us, any enterprises that are thinking of building something that could use something like Cosmos, we're excited about that. Oh, I guess on that topic, right? Enterprises and then things like private blockchains, consortium blockchains, generally don't need proof of stake, right?
Right.
Because it's all internal, they manage everything themselves. So internally, we're also working on a proof of authority module specific for these use cases of institutions, governments, and large enterprises who want to, reap the benefits of blockchain technology, but don't really need to stake tokens. They just have, basically someone responsible, or, a subsidiary of their company in a different country that's responsible for maintaining it. So we hope this proof of authority module will help them, build these sort of chains as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's applicable for those type of government enterprises. Wow, that's great. Looking forward to hear more about your developments with these enterprises in the near future. But for the Korean community and also the Asian community who showed immense interest in this interview, would you like to say like a last farewell message to them, or do you know any Korean or you want to say? 안녕하세요.
Unfortunately, I don't know very much Korean.
The effect of Korean dramas. But anyway.
But yeah, thank you everyone, for caring about the atom, for caring about the cosmos. It is our #1 priority to bring about the Internet of Blockchains, to bring value to the Cosmos Hub, right? To bring more utility to the Cosmos atom. And we're doing everything we can to make that, rise. To have more blockchains in the ecosystem, to make the hub more useful, to bring a DEX to the hub, to share the hub security with other chains. And we're looking forward to working on those, with the community of developers and with the community of token holders. So, thanks for sticking with us through these last 3 years of really a bear market. And now that the bull market is here, we hope to use some of these, the new funds that have been granted to us and make these things happen as soon as we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks.